Gloves. We're talking with Jim, who is one of the co-founders of Paws and Stripes.
Yes.
And you guys do some great work with Paws and Stripes, because that's the group. And we've had you guys on the show before, and I love it, because they help not just veterans, but dogs, too.
Right.
Because you guys have formed this very cool thing, and help me out here.
Sure, yeah.
Because you find a veteran, or do they
Well, the
come to
veteran
you?
actually comes to us. They fill out an enrollment request form. And then there's a process in the beginning. But then we do a pre-screening of dogs in the shelter system, which is really neat. We're giving those dogs a second chance.
Yeah.
And then we pair them together, and they train for anywhere from 9 to 12 months, multiple times during the week. And it's at no cost to the veteran. It's all from donations.
Right.
And no pun intended, but we watch them get a new leash on life. You know, you know, we got to do that.
But the cool thing is, the veterans you guys serve are guys who have had maybe PTSD issues or other struggles reintegrating into civilian life.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injuries, which come with a laundry list of other issues.
Right.
You know, but the main thing about it is we're trying to get these veterans to understand that don't let the disability define you as who you are.
Right.
You're way more than that.
Right.
So get out of the house. The dog helps you do that. Medication reminders, mobility assist, everything across the board. We can customize that program.
That's very cool. And then you don't just you help the vet, you help the dog.
Absolutely.
Everyone wins.
It's a win-win yet again.
Right. Right. I love that. And then you guys are taking that kind of the next level though now, right? Because you took some of the vets. I don't know if they
actually
were
no.
vets.
This wasn't any veterans from Paws and Stripes.
Okay.
I was on a ski trip.
Okay.
This past winter and bumped into a group called No Barriers, and they started talking about doing a mountain summit expedition, and I was kind of like, that sounds like a walk, right? Like we're gonna go for a hike.
Yeah.
I'll sign up.
Wait, it's not anything like a walk. We have photos of it here. Like this is.
That's not a walk in the park right there.
Is that you?
That is me.
That's you with the beard fully grown out there.
Full-blown beard.
And
that was the group of veterans that went on the trip. We had some like 2-leg amputees on the trip, some men and women that were just dealing with different disabilities. But the program, you know, the mountain really wasn't the barrier that we had to overcome. It was finding out what was inside when you're out in the middle of the woods, when you're not, you know, that cell phone's not there, that email's not there.
Right.
And then you start to realize that you got to work together as a team, because walking on some of those ridge lines was some pretty hairy stuff.
And I can only imagine with people who, like you said, there were some double amputees. Did you like?
They were amazing. They really. What I love about the amputee population, they do not want to be different than anybody else. They want to be the same. They don't want to be looked at differently. And the 2 veterans on this trip, Mark and Gina, that are leg amputees, were the same way, and they really proved that point. I mean,
awesome.
One of the dudes Mark got nicknamed the Gladiator, and he had it tattooed across the back of his neck.
Nice.
You know, he really embraced it.
That's cool. So what was it about this kind of a trip that made you want to go on it and do it?
Well, number one, the thing that caught my eye was I was a volunteer fireman and an iron worker on Ground Zero on the 11th, and they were trying to summit Gannett Peak on 9/11. So that was really big to me, maybe looking for some closure. What I found was way more than that. My wife likes to say I've kind of done a 180. Now my eyes are open, now I'm excited, and now I'm like, I'm going to go climb the Sandias and walk the ridge line, or I'm going to go up to Taos and hit Wheeler Peak, or
that's cool.
How do I get to Everest? You know, and everybody's going, Jim, slow down.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple mountains first.
One mountain at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's the 10K trail, which is one of the toughest, I guess, hiking trails around.
The La Luz, I've been up and down and use that for training. You know, I got to just give a hand out to New Mexico here. New Mexico in general is a great place to train if you're going to do any sort of outdoor activity. The people in the community, there's a gym that I work out at called Elevate. Those guys customized my workout routine specifically for the mountain.
That's awesome.
I mean, you can't, it's a win-win.
Right.
I know I keep saying that because it really, that's the way I'm looking at life right now.
Did you learn that from this trip, or is that something that kind of came slowly in the last 5-10 years?
No, I think it's something that kind of really blossomed during the trip. Everybody's asking me, well, Jim, you don't want to be known as a disabled veteran anymore. And I'm like, you're right.
Are you trying to break that?
Trying to break that
barrier. We were just
barrier.
talking about that a minute ago, because your bio here talks a little bit about that.
Correct.
And you were like, man, I just want to leave that behind. I want to be done with that. I mean, I know you have your shoulder reconstructed, some other things.
I've got some, I've got multiple surgeries. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder, a brain injury. Right. But I think it's all about, it's not that I'll never forget those things, but I want to be known as just Jim Stanek. And not Jim, the disabled vet. You know, I've placed myself in this box of being a disabled veteran. And I think it's very important for our disabled veteran population out there to show people that we are way more than that, that we have so much more to offer this community, and to strive.
Right. Well, and that leads us into Paws and Stripes, and doing everything you're doing with that. How was the big gala you guys had a few weeks ago?
It was amazing. The support. I think we had like close to 400 people in a banquet hall.
That's cool.
Which blew our numbers away from last year.
Yeah.
You know, people are getting on board, and the people that show up to our banquet are true supporters. We never have an issue. I haven't gotten the final total yet back from the banquet night, but I know it was big.
That's good.
So
that's good.
It's great stuff, and I love it. The fact that we're here in New Mexico, and you know, it's. I think I'm gonna have to get the Zia symbol tattooed somewhere on.
You don't have one yet?
I don't have one yet. I have to get one.
Well, actually, I would say climb an awesome peak in New Mexico and get that peak tattoo.
I'll tell you what, that's a fair deal. So any mountain climbers out there, find me.
Find an awesome mountain. And, like, find us on Twitter, hashtag, you know, at My Morning Brew, and just be like, hashtag awesome mountain.
Like, let me know which one it is, and then we'll start to plan it and tackle it.
Yeah, and then you can send us photos from that
Bingo.
trip. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll get you guys video too if you want.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun. The Paws and Stripes, though, is the TV show still going? Is that renewed?
No,
I hadn't heard. Because you had the TV show that was on...
We had a TV show on A&E. It was called Dogs of War, and every episode featured a disabled veteran that was going through the program and their family telling their story. And, you know, the people that found it loved it.
Right.
You know, I didn't realize what it's like walking through an airport and people recognizing who you are.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, you know...
Well, now that you've been on the Morning Brew, it's going to happen way more often.
It's going to happen way more often. As long as people have coffee when we get together, I'm good. So, no, but, you know, they didn't renew it. So we don't know what's going to happen, but I think...
We can get on DVD, though, right?
You know, man, I have no idea.
We got to find out.
I'm just a simple guy.
We'll put our crack team of researchers on this and find out. And by crack team of researchers, I mean Lee.
Yeah, so can Lee just email me if it actually happens?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We got a packed show today. I think Greg Mays is here. He's going to tell us all about Bourbon History Month.
Which I'm excited about.
Right? In just a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew.